Now, I have just set the streaming for YouTube and we are going live on YouTube.
Mute.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Sir, you're audible. So, namaste and good evening to all of you, dear brothers and sisters. Today, we will be continuing our study on this Letters from the Masters of Wisdom, first series, in which we are studying the letters of personal counsel. So, we will begin our session with the universal invocation.
Oh, hidden 24, we are continuing.
Sir, please join me in the universal invocation. O hidden life, vibrant in every atom. O hidden light, shining in every creature. O hidden love, embracing all in oneness. May each who feels himself as one with thee know he is also one with every other. So welcome once again, all of you. And we have with us Brother B.D. Tendulkar ji, and he will be continuing this part 2 on the letters of personal counsel. Sir, I welcome you and request you to start the session.
Thank you, Vaji. On last occasion, we discussed few letters. Later returned to W.T. Brown, then later returned to Mohini M. Chatterjee, and lastly to a chela whose name is not given, but we have seen that this chela is one who was very eager to be accepted as a chela, though his past background was not really suitable for being accepted as the chela. And therefore, Master has, in the beginning itself, made it clear that he should not mistake this as a condonation of his past, that Master has forgiven him, or that Master has not perhaps noticed his past. So Master makes it very clear that to make such presumptions will be foolish on his part. And he clarified why his prayer was granted. His prayer was granted to help save him from his viler self, which means he had become a person who had lost contact with his higher self. And he was unable to listen to the voice of his higher self. Rather, Master refers to it as the voice of your offended soul. That higher soul was an offended soul by his lower self. And whole intention of Master to grant his request to enable him to hear the voice of his offended soul, to give him the stimulus to make reparation, to mend his ways, his behavior. With this background, explaining why his prayer was granted, Master also makes it amply clear that they are agents of justice. And he also makes it clear to the Chela that he has base as you have been, wildly as you have misused your talents, blind as you have been to the claims of gratitude, virtue, and equity. So, all these statements clearly indicate that he hardly deserves to be called a Chela or to be accepted as a Chela, because he is base in all his approach, his feeling, thinking, speech, behavior. It's not up to the mark which deserves him status of a Chela. But Master also knows that there are latent qualities in him to become a good man and a Chela. Those qualities are in a dormant state. And therefore, it is to make him sensitive of those dormant potentialities that his request has been granted, with the hope that he will realize his mistakes and amend his behavior, his feelings, his whole approach. But at the same time, Master is doubtful whether he will really be able to make use of this opportunity given to him. How long your relations with us will continue depends alone upon yourself. That is what Master makes clear. From the side of the Master, all that could be done has been done. Now all depends upon the would-be Chela. Depends alone upon yourself. You may struggle up out of mire. Master told him to struggle up out of mire. But if he does not take proper hint from the advice given by the Master, then Master also warns him that you may otherwise glide back into depths of vice and misery now inconceivable to your imagination. So just see what a dark future awaits him if he does not take the advice of the Master in the right spirit. Remember that you stand before your Atma, which is your judge. Now, who is the judge? Not the Master, but Chela's Atma. And you cannot deceive your Atma. It is just a self-deception if one does that. That Atma cannot be fooled by smiles, by falsehood, by sophistries. Nothing can deceive him. Hitherto you had but bits of chits from me. So far, Master gave him hints and suggestions indirectly. But since those were indirect, perhaps the chela, would-be chela, did not realize that. He did not see how the master was trying to inspire him, to help him, to open his eyes when he is proceeding almost blindly ahead. Master says, "You knew me not. Now you know me better." Because now Master has awakened perhaps his inner sight. And with that sight, he can see or know the Master better. It is I who accuse you before your awakened conscience. Now, his conscience is awakened. He is in a position to know the Master and understand the intention of Master to help him to come out of his present difficulties and struggles through which he was passing. You need make no lip promises to it or to me. Here, Master again warns him against his self-deceiving approach, where he was not honest to himself, and as a result of which he was trying to cover up his own faults by advancing lip promises, halfway confessions, and these kind of tricks are not going to help him, as Master makes it amply clear. You shed oceans of tears and grovel in the dust. This will not move a hair's breadth the balance of justice. So these kind of efforts, or rather tactics, attempts to deceive oneself and others, are not going to move or disturb the balance of justice to any extent. If you would recover the lost ground, do two things. He has lost much of the ground by his mistakes, his wrong actions, wrong approaches in the past. Therefore, Master says, make the amplest, most complete reparation, and to the good of mankind, devote your energies. Now, Master is asking him to take a U-turn almost. So far, he has been selfish and ambitious in his approach. That ambition may be spiritual ambition, but still predominantly selfish. And therefore, Master says, apply your energy to the good of mankind. Devote your energies for that, not for your own good. Try to fill each day's measure with pure thoughts. This is again similar to the advice Master earlier gave in, I think, later number 20, where he is referring to that blank pages of the diary of life. We have already spoiled the pages in the past, and yet there is scope to repair whatever damage we have already done. New pages of future incarnations are yet to be written down. And if we are mindful of that, we will not spoil those pages. Those can be filled with each day's measure with pure thoughts, wise words, kindly deeds. So, what is expected is an overall reparation, improvement at various levels of consciousness through our physical body, astral body, mental body, at the level of our speech, our feelings, our thoughts. There is need to be watchful where we are going wrong and to be particular about what we have to do to make good whatever wrongs we have committed in the past. So we have to write those pages which are yet blank. I shall neither order nor mesmerize nor sway you. So Master is making clear his role in relation to the would-be disciple. Master is not directly helping anyone which would go against the law of karma. So he will not interfere with what the law does not permit. Therefore, Master will not apply his weight to set the disturbed balance right by putting his weight in favor of the would-be chela. I shall neither order nor mesmerize. He will not in any way, directly or indirectly, affect the justice, which is the outcome of the actions, deeds, and everything on the part of the would-be disciple, which he will adopt not for himself alone, but for others, their well-being. But unseen, and when you perhaps come, like so many others, to disbelieve in my existence, I shall watch your career and sympathize in your struggle. So, Master helps even when we fail to respond to the Master. The disciple, would-be disciple or pupil, doesn't come up to the expectation of the Master. Master expects us to come to their world, not we expect him to come down to our worlds, material worlds. We have to rise to his spiritual worlds. If we don't do that and remain at our own level, then we will not really be convinced about even the existence of the Masters and the good that they can make to us from their subtle levels of consciousness. That's why he says, to disbelieve in my existence, such a person is likely to come to a conclusion that Masters don't exist at all, because I am not getting any convincing response from him. But even in that condition, Master is all the time watching the career of the would-be chela. He has full sympathy for the person. He is trying to enable him to come out of his struggles successfully by inspiring him, not by any unusual methods like mesmerizing and swaying him away from the normal course. No, nothing of that kind of miraculous things can be expected by a disciple. If you come out victorious at the end of your probation, I shall be the readiest to welcome you. This is a clear promise to a chela who is determined to tread the path unhesitatingly and to work to the very end of the path, in spite of all the obstacles, difficulties, hardships, whatever that may come and against him, oppose him, nothing will deter him from his advancing on the path towards his destination. And now there run two paths before you. So Master has made him clear. These are the two paths. Either you come out of the mire in which you are struggling, struggle up out of mire, or glide back into depths of vice and misery. So these are the two paths. You cannot just remain stand still. Either you will go ahead or you will slip back. So choose one of the two. When you have chosen, you may consult your visible official superior, H.S. Olcott, and I will instruct him through his guru to guide and send you on. So here also, Master is very careful to follow the proper channel. Master tells him that when you make a choice, consult your visible official superior. So this is on the physical plane. That person may be helping, assisting HSO, was the president of the society. So he was visible official superior on the physical plane. But at the same time, he says, I will instruct him. But how? Not directly, through his guru. His guru, whose guru? Olcott's guru. Olcott's guru was Master M. So he will instruct Olcott not directly, but through his guru, that is Master M, to guide and send you on. So see how carefully and delicately and sensitively Masters approach and really in the best interest of the disciple do everything possible without being visible, without the beneficiary being aware of the help he is receiving from the masters. You aspire to be a missionary of theosophy. That was what the would-be Chela had indicated in his letter, probably. Therefore, Master says, be one, means be the missionary of theosophy. But what he adds to that statement, if you can be one in fact, so be a real missionary, not just for the name's sake, call yourself a missionary of theosophy. But rather than go about preaching with a heart and a life that belie your profession. We almost do lot of preaching others. We speak aloud. But how far our actions match with what we speak? Walk the talk. That is the advice normally given. Do we really walk as we talk? That's why Master says, rather than go about preaching with a heart and a life that belie your professions. Generally, we profess very high things, but is our heart and life is in line with what we profess? Conjure the lightning to strike you dead, for every word will become your future accuser. We speak many times loudly. We speak with great enthusiasm. And we create very good impression upon who are listening to us. We try to mesmerize them. All this is at what cost? Master has made it clear. Every word will become your future accuser. Where we speak and only speak, do not act according to what we speak. Many times our actions may be contrary to what we are speaking. So we have to be careful, mindful that every word that we speak becomes our future accuser. We have to do justice to prove ourselves right and loyal to what we are speaking. Go and consult with Colonel Olcott, confess your faults before that good man and seek his advice. So again, Master brings him on a practical plane, reminds him that Colonel Olcott is a good man and consulting him will be in his own interest. So that is the advice Master finally gives him. Here we come to the end of this letter, number 24. And then there are few letters which we can go about. There is letter number 25, only one sentence. It says, this letter is addressed to Prince Hari Singh Ji, Roop Singh Ji. He is the prince from the ruling family of Bhavnagar, Gujarat. And a person who was again an aspirant and a sincere person, pupil on the path of duty. So Master advised him, if you go on the path of duty to your countrymen and righteousness to your brethren. So these are the two sentences in this letter which assure him that if he takes them in the right spirit, Master will ever watch over and protect him. So this is perhaps an advice to be followed by every aspirant. If we are duty conscious and treat our path of duty, particularly duty to our country, our nation, it is our collective responsibility. And we have to fulfill it. And righteousness to our brethren. So it's a selfless life which we have to lead with devotion and also with that love for the country. If we do that, then we will be ever watched over and protected by them, the masters. That is in nutshell what this small letter conveys. It is only a one sentence letter from page. Then there are letters from Damodar K. Maudankar. You know Damodar K. Maudankar. He was from Mumbai and he joined HPB while she was in Mumbai after coming from New York to India. A person from a Maharashtrian Brahmin family, and the family was Orthodox, but Damodar was considerably influenced by HPV's work and talk, and had determined to join her. In the letter which is written here, again a very small letter, I want you to have this followed by Subram's statement. You may take out something else from the supplement. This is a period when Damodar K. Maudankar was at Adyar. But HPB was not there. She had gone out of India probably, or on tour in various parts of the country. And much of the responsibility of the work was shouldered by Damodar, especially the work relating to the editing of the Theosophist. Therefore, this letter refers to this Subram statement. It is a letter written to V. Kuppuswamy, later written by V. Kuppuswamy. And also, there is a reference of Dr. Sir S. Subramaniam Iyer. Both of these persons have described in the letter certain phenomena which they had come across and experienced themselves. So this was annexed to an article which was sent for publication in Theosophist of February 1884. And it is in reference to that this letter has been written. Then there is another letter, letter 27. Do not feel so dejected, my poor boy. No need for that. Here we know that Damodar was very keen to have association with the masters. He was keen to meet them in person, and he was prepared to do anything for the fulfillment of his desire. But that was not happening so easily and so quickly as he was anticipating. And therefore, considering that state of mind of Damodar, Master is advising him and consoling him, saying, do not feel so dejected, my poor boy. No need for that. As Mr. Sinnett rightly says in his Esoteric Buddhism, the higher spiritual progress must be accompanied by intellectual development on a parallel line. So this is one of the law of spiritual development, we can say, which has been stated by A.P. Sinnett in his Esoteric Buddhism. Of course, based on the communications he received from the Master. Here we see that these two things, intellectual development and spiritual progress, go together on parallel line. At other place, masters have said that we have to take hold of this wave of intellectual advancement and channelize it into spirituality. Again, meaning the same thing, that this is a stage of evolution where humanity is passing through a period of very keen intellectual advancement. But intellect by itself is very dominant and aggressive and separative in nature. And therefore, there is a possibility that those who are highly intelligent would become more selfish, self-centered, dominant, ambitious, suppressive on others, causing domination, weaker section of the society, using their intelligence or intellect for the sake of their own personal advantages. And if this happens, then how can there be spiritual development? Therefore, Master is saying that higher spiritual progress must be accompanied by intellectual development on a parallel line. You have now the best opportunities for doing that where you are working. Now, as I mentioned, Damodar was working at Adyar and he was, though basically assisting HPB. In absence of HPB, he had to work independently to shoulder many of his responsibilities. Editing and publishing of theosophies was a great work of intellectual ability. He had to go through all the correspondence received in connection with the matters to be published from renowned theosophists all over the world, interact with them, and finalize the matter to be published. So this is a process of intellectual development. But it is not a mere intellectual development. This required also development of insight to go beyond a literary work or worldly things conveyed through words. So ability to go beyond the words, beyond illusory representation of facts made through language. So there is a possibility of using intellectual development for also arousing insight and intuition. Therefore, masters are advising Damodar to take this as an opportunity. You have now the best opportunities for doing that. So the burden or responsibility fell upon him due to absence of HPB was rather an opportunity planned and given to him by the masters to develop. So this is a lesson to be learned by all of us, that whenever we face such situations and have to shoulder higher responsibilities and labor for it by hard work, persistent labor, we should not try to avoid it, but accept it joyfully, smilingly, as a as an opportunity and reward of whatever we did in the past. Your time is not yet come. At the same time, Master is telling him that you have to be patient. Don't be in a hurry. Don't be impatient. Don't be so eager as would disturb your mental balance. So your time is not yet come. When it does, it shall be communicated to you. At right time, there will be right communication informing that time has come and what is to be done appropriate to the opportunity offered by that time. But till that time arrives, we have to make the best use of the opportunity which we can seize during the intervening period and make the best use of that opportunity. Till then, make the best of the present favorable opportunity to improve your intellectually while developing your intuition. So, this is a work to be carried out on two fronts, one on the front of intellectuality and second on the front of spirituality. We have to move on both pathways. Then only there will be a balanced development, all around development. So this is an opportunity for that kind of development, which was very much necessary for Mr. Damodar at that level of evolution through which was possible. Remember that no effort is ever lost. This is again a statement which is true all the time. No effort is ever lost. So our focus should be on the work, not on the outcome of the work. No effort is ever lost. If that is true, then why should we bother so much about what is the outcome of our effort? As long as we are putting in effort in the right way, at right time, in the right manner, we should forget about the outcome. Otherwise, our focus will be more on outcome than on the work we are handling. Remember that no effort is ever lost, and that for an occultist, there is no past, no present, no future, but ever and eternal now. So we need not worry about the past and future. If we are in the present, then past and future are part of the present. That means an eternal now. So we should rise above the limitations of time and space. If we work with that kind of attitude and approach, then perhaps the outcome will always be the best possible we are capable of. Here we come to the end of the lecture. I think I will stop here. Vibhaji?
Yes, sir.
Perhaps I think you can proceed with our usual formalities of translation, and then we will deal with questions and answers, if any.
Right. Thank you very much, sir, for your
Thank you, Vibhaji. Yes.
Right, for conducting this session. And I request Meenakshi ji to give us the translation in Hindi.
सभी को प्रणाम. Thank you, sister. Thank you, brother Tendulkar ji.
Thank you, Meenakshi.
लेटर नंबर 24. यह लेटर मास्टर के एच एक चेला को लिखते हैं. वे आगे लिखते हैं कि अब तक आप मुझे नहीं जानते थे, इसलिए आपको मेरे द्वारा थोड़ा बहुत ही मिला. अब आप मुझे भली भांति जानते हो. यह मैं हूँ जो आपके जागृत अंतरिक्ष चेतना के समक्ष आप पर दोषारोपण कर रहा हूँ। आपको अपनी अंतरात्मा से और न ही मुझसे कोई झूठे वादे करने हैं, न ही कोई आधा अधूरा कबूली जवाब देना है। चाहे आंसुओं का सागर बहाए या धूल में करा है, यह न्याय के तराजू को यत्किंचित भी नहीं हिला सकता। गवाई हुई योग्यता प्राप्त करनी है, तब दो बातें करें। अपनी गलतियों की संपूर्णतः भरपाई करें और मानव जाति की भलाई कल्याण के लिए अपनी शक्तियां समर्पित करें। अपनी दिनचर्या शुद्ध विचार, उचित बोली और सत्कर्म द्वारा करने का प्रयास करें। मैं आपको न तो आदेश दूंगा, न सम्मोहित करूंगा और न ही आपको प्रभावित करूंगा, लेकिन बाकी कई लोगों की तरह यदि आप अप्रत्यक्ष रूप से मेरे अस्तित्व में अविश्वास करेंगे, संदेह करेंगे, तब मैं आपकी जीवन यात्रा को निहारूंगा और आपके संघर्षों के प्रति सहानुभूति रखूंगा। यदि आप अपने प्रोबेशन के अंत में सफल होते हैं, तो मैं आपका स्वागत करने तैयार रहूंगा। और अब आपके सामने दो मार्ग चुनने के लिए है। आपने चुनने के बाद आप आपसे सर्वश्रेष्ठ एच.एस. ऑलकॉट से परामर्श कर सकते हैं और मैं उन्हें उनके सद्गुरु के माध्यम से आपको मार्गदर्शन करने के लिए निर्देश दूंगा। आप थियोसॉफी के मिशनरी प्रचारक बनने की चाह रखते हैं। यदि आप वास्तव में ऐसा बनना चाहते हैं, तब आप बने। जो आपके वृत्ति पर खरा नहीं उतरता, ऐसे दिलोजान से प्रचार करने के बजाय ऐसा जादू करे जिससे बिजली गिरने पर आप मर जाए, क्योंकि आपका हर एक शब्द भविष्य में दोषारोपक बनेगा। कर्नल ऑलकॉट से मिले और परामर्श करें। उस भले मनुष्य के सामने अपनी गलतियों को कबूल करें और उनकी सलाह लें। अगला पत्र है लेटर नंबर 25। सॉरी, अगला पत्र है लेटर नंबर 25, जो कि मास्टर के एच हरि सिंह जी रूप सिंह जी को लिखते हैं। हरि सिंह जी रूप सिंह जी यह भावनगर के राजकुमार थे और थियोसॉफिकल सोसाइटी की शुरुआती दौर में संस्थापकों के स्नेही और समर्थक थे। मास्टर उन्हें कहते हैं कि जो अपने देश के प्रति कर्तव्यनिष्ठ है और अपने बांधवों के प्रति ईमानदार है, सत्यनिष्ठ है, तब उसकी जो सदैव देखभाल करेगा और रक्षा करेगा। यह पत्र उनकी ओर से है। अगला पत्र मास्टर के एच दामोदर को लिखते हैं। एचपीबी की अनुपस्थिति के दौरान दामोदर के मावलनकर निर्देशन में थियोसॉफिस्ट पत्रिका चल रही थी। जिस लेख का यहाँ संदर्भ दिया है वह द थियोसॉफिस्ट के सप्लीमेंट के फरवरी 1884 में छपा था। मास्टर के एच ने दामोदर के मावलनकर को थियोसॉफिस्ट में सुब्रमण्यम अय्यर के एक लेख को छापने के लिए निर्देश दिया। वे कहते हैं कि दामोदर, मैं चाहता हूं कि आप इसके बाद सुब्रमण्यम अय्यर का स्टेटमेंट यानी लेख दे। आप द थियोसॉफिस्ट सप्लीमेंट से चाहे कुछ और निकाल सकते हैं। अगला पत्र है लेटर नंबर 27, जो कि मास्टर के एच दामोदर मालवनकर को 27 फरवरी में लिखते हैं। वे कहते हैं कि मेरे अभागे बच्चे, इतना मायूस न हो, इसकी जरूरत नहीं है। जैसे कि मिस्टर सिनेट ने अपने एसोटेरिक बुद्धिज्म में ठीक ही कहा है, उच्चतर आध्यात्मिक प्रगति बौद्धिक विकास के साथ साथ होनी चाहिए। जहां आप कार्य कर रहे हैं वहां इसके लिए आपको बहुत अच्छा अवसर प्रदान हुआ है। आपकी समर्पितता और निस्वार्थपूर्ण श्रम के लिए आपके अनजाने आपको सहायता मिल रही है। आपका समय अभी आया नहीं है। जब वह आएगा तब आपको सूचित किया जाएगा। तब तक अपनी प्रज्ञा को विकसित करते हुए बौद्धिक रूप से खुद को बेहतर बनाने के लिए वर्तमान अनुकूल अवसर का अधिक से अधिक लाभ उठाए। याद रखें कि कोई भी प्रयास कभी भी व्यर्थ नहीं जाता है और एक साधक के लिए कोई अतीत, वर्तमान या भविष्य काल नहीं होता है, बल्कि निरंतर चिरंतनता रहती है, इटर्नल नाउ रहता है। नमस्ते, थैंक यू।
Thank you, Meenakshi ji, for this translation. And now, if we have any question and answers from the participants, they can please unmute themselves and speak. Any questions regarding this letter? Or any points which anyone would like to add? Sir, I don't think there are any points to be added from the participants.
नमस्कार मैडम। हाँ,
Yes, namaste, sir.
मैं माधवी शर्मा बोल रही हूँ।
हाँ,
यहाँ पे
बोलिए।
इन्होंने जो कहा है कि ये जो अपना अकल्टिस्ट है, वो उसका कोई प्रेजेंट नहीं होता, कोई फ्यूचर नहीं होता और कोई पास्ट भी नहीं होता। तो मैडम वो रहेगा तो संसार में ही ना, तो प्रेजेंट में रहेगा ना, तो प्रेजेंट में जो उसका कर्म होगा वो मेरे ख्याल से फ्यूचर में आएगा ही, लगेगा ही। तो फिर इटर्नल से क्या यहाँ पे तात्पर्य, ये समझ में नहीं आया।
हाँ बहन जी, हाँ, यहाँ पास्ट, प्रेजेंट एंड फ्यूचर ऐसा जो डिस्टिंक्शन या डिफरेंशिएशन हम करते हैं, वो हमारे प्लेन ऑफ कॉन्शियसनेस से रिलेटेड है। इन रियलिटी देयर इज नो सच distinction or differentiation. All time is one. Now they have said that in case of Mahachohan, in the letter of from Mahachohan, there is a reference that for the master, it is all one, past, future, and present. They can see things from a level where we are existing in a three-dimensional reality. But for them, there are added dimensions of reality, where time and space, these are the dimensions belonging to the three dimensions of reality. When we rise above that, there is no limitation of time and space for us. We can see things as one continuity. Therefore, even at that level, our past incarnations and future incarnations and our present incarnation are all one. There are no separations as such. Therefore, when we see this continuity and oneness, perhaps what we regard as past or present becomes out of context at that level of reality, which is perhaps a reality for the adepts who have become Jivan Muktas. Our life is governed by these limitations of time and space. But for them, unless they really opt for those limitations by choice, by deliberation, for them, those limitations do not exist. They are conscious at all the places, at all the times. The moment they think of anything or what they really want to know. For them, they are omnipresent, omniscient. They have all the knowledge, all the power, presence everywhere at the same time. So that is a state we are referring to by the term eternal now. If that eternal now is to be understood, we have to rise above our present limitations of consciousness, which is governed by time and space. I hope I have tried to clarify.
Thank you, sir. धन्यवाद, sir.
धन्यवाद.
Thank you, sir. That was a very nice explanation. Any other question? So I think this brings us to the end of our session today. Sir, we will continue the same series on next Friday.
Okay.
Okay. So thank you all for joining today, and we will end the session with the closing prayer. Om Asato ma Sadgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Sarvesham Swastirabhavatu Sarvesham Shantirabhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste and thank you all for joining. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.